to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. I am your host, Virginia. On today's episode, I have the pleasure of welcoming Olivia, who is one of the hosts of the Soarin Around WDW podcast. There are links to her show in the show notes, so be sure to check that out. It is a lot of fun, and I know that if you are a regular listener of this show, it's right up your alley. Before we dive into the interview, please make sure that you are subscribed and following on the podcast app of your choice to both my podcast and to Olivia's. Not only will it help our shows get more notice, but it will also ensure that you always have the latest episodes in your queue. And with that, let's get to it. Here's Olivia. I am very excited to welcome to the podcast Olivia from the Soarin Around WDW pod. How are you, Olivia?
Hi. Good. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to interview a fellow podcaster who happens to have a trip coming up.
Yes, super fun. I know it's always fun to be on other podcasts as a podcaster. That always makes it a really fun time.
How long have you been doing your podcast?
So we are coming up on our 1 year, actually. We started August of last year and have had some changes throughout the year, but yeah, about a year now. So it just kind of is
Mm-hmm.
a fun little hobby that we started, and then we've continued it. And it's just been kind of a little therapeutic thing to get to talk about Disney, go through old memories, and it's been a really good time.
Tell us a little bit about the content of your show, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So it started because my younger brother, Regan, wanted to do the Parkeology and Every Ride challenge. And so we were doing that together. And he was like, this is so much fun. We're having a lot of fun doing Disney and we talk about Disney all the time. Let's start a podcast. So it really started out as talking about our Every Ride challenge runs, our growing up at Disney, because we grew up in Bradenton, Florida. So about an hour and a half west of Orlando and south a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we went almost every other weekend or so growing up with annual passes back when they were really cheap. And then when we got older, we were going a little bit less. But now as adults, he actually lived in Orlando for quite a while. So we were getting to go together, just us pre-kids and now with our kids. And so it's just been really fun. So a lot of our content is memories from when we were kids, talking about things that used to be there, things that are there still now, and kind of getting into what we love, what we don't love with the changes. So yeah, that's a little bit about our content. And we right now are finishing up a series about different things within the parks that are currently there, but we did a whole Parks of the Past series where we talked about things that are no longer there, which was
Oh,
really fun.
fun.
And yeah, our followers had a good time with that, kind of talking about, oh yeah, I remember that, or oh, I didn't know that existed. So that was really
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that's really cool. I have two follow-up questions for you. Number one, well, this is a rhetorical question for me because I know
Yeah.
the answer, but for the listeners, what is a Parkeology All the Rides challenge?
Yes, great question. So it is where you are a crazy person and you try to ride every single operating open ride at Walt Disney World, all four parks in one day. So
Right.
you have to start, obviously usually early morning hours and then go usually through the like after hours events. You try to pick a day where it's open obviously very long, but the last time that we attempted in December, there were technically per Parkeology rules 53 attractions because they count the Tom Sawyer rafts, but Every Ride
Oh.
challenge, which is separate, they do not count the Tom Sawyer rafts. But things that you wouldn't typically think of, like Carousel of Progress moves, so it's a ride. The
Mm-hmm.
Riverboat moves, so it's a ride. So we have to hit all of those before the end of the day. And in December, we got 52 of 53. Spaceship Earth had been open and then
Oh,
broke down, but it still counts because it was open during the day. So
yeah.
unfortunately, that's the only one we missed. But yeah, we did really good. And that was our second attempt together. My brother's done it a few other times.
I mean, that's the four-part challenge, but on drugs, frankly.
Yeah, extreme. Yeah, yeah, very extreme.
And it seems like you could set yourself up for success and get everything right, but there is still that element of chance where something could be open for a majority of the day and then be down when you're finally able to ride it.
Yes, it's very weather dependent. So any outdoor ride, if it starts to lightning, obviously they have to close it. So a lot at Magic Kingdom, like you're thinking about let me think of some examples. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train will close for lightning.
Right.
Slinky Dog will close for lightning. So all those things, it's really like you have to be on it. And things go down, I've learned, more often than you think they do during the day, even for short periods of time. But if that's your last ride of that park, you really have to kind of wait until it comes back up or risk not getting to complete. So it is
Right.
definitely a strategic challenge and has gotten more challenging as they keep changing the lightning lane system so often as they have the last couple of years and trying to learn the new lightning lane system and how that works. But you can't
Hmm.
use Premier Pass or anything like that, but you can use regular lightning lane multi-pass and single passes.
Okay. Have you ever had to do it where something was down and you had done everything else, so you moved on to another park and then later had to come back to the same park again?
So we did not have to do that the first time, but the second time we actually started at Animal Kingdom. We did Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey, and then we went to Magic Kingdom, made it for their rope drop,
Mhm.
and did everything there, and then had to go back to Animal Kingdom. That was more of a choice because, as you know, Animal Kingdom opens a little
Right.
earlier than most parks. So, but it was a lot of extra steps, but it was worth it in the end because we would have finished if Spaceship Earth would have been open.
Yeah, and going back to Animal Kingdom later in the day, all of those other things are likely not too long a wait.
Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That's usually the easiest park to finish.
Okay, second follow-up question from your introduction of your podcast. Do you and your brother live in the same place?
We do not. So we both, like I said, grew up in Bradenton, but now I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and
Mhm.
my brother travels for work. So he is currently in Atlanta, Georgia, but he moves like every 3 weeks, which is why in more recent episodes, if you're a listener of our podcast, you'll notice my dad has been filling in a lot, which is fun. He still does live in Bradenton, Florida. So he's been co-hosting with me whenever Regan can't make it back for an episode or can't make it because of work obligations. So yeah,
Mhm.
we all are kind of in separate spaces, which makes it interesting.
Hmm. I did notice because I took a look at your episode release dates and I was like, she has not taken a break one single week.
We have not. No, and I think it was funny. We thought about it and now it's just almost like a challenge to me like how long can I go before we have to? Eventually we'll have to, but yeah, it's been fun. So we record ahead obviously a lot and then
Mhm.
now I've gotten my husband involved obviously with our trip talking about that and we have different guest stars and stuff so that makes it easy. But yeah, no, we have not taken a break.
Yeah. I did that at the beginning too, and I can't remember how long I went. I probably went almost a year, and then, that's when I started breaking my stuff up into seasons was so that I
Yeah.
could take a break, and especially because my shows rely on me sitting down and talking with other people who are not in my immediate family, so it's a little bit harder for scheduling purposes and everything.
Yes.
Like, it's pretty much a requirement. So now I take a break of about a month around the holidays, and then I'll take, like, a week or 2 here and there during the year just to keep my sanity.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know I can't even remember how you came to be if you whether you submitted yourself, whether I reached out to you, there's or whether a friend recommended you. But I don't know if you know this about me going into this, but I'm a Tar Heel born and a Tar Heel bred, and when I die, I'll be Tar Heel dead. So
Okay,
it's
well, this
rah-rah,
is a
Carolina Lana,
problem.
rah-rah. Oh no, did you
So
go to Duke?
so my husband went to Duke and we're big Duke people. So we live
Oh
in
my
Chapel
goodness.
Hill. He actually is going to UNC now for his doctorate, but
Okay.
he has his doctorate for his PhD. So he got his doctorate at Duke, which is why we moved to North Carolina 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And now he's going to UNC for his PhD. So now he's kind of split, but we're big Duke basketball people. So
Oh my
sorry.
goodness. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fine. We can agree to disagree.
Yes, yeah. So actually, I found out about your podcast when I first started, but then funny enough, my neighbor, Katie Smith, who lives a couple of streets
Ah,
away from
yes.
me, is the
Love
one who was
Katie.
like, submit for your trip. Like, you're going on this awesome trip. And so I was like, okay. So I think I DM'd you or something on Instagram,
Okay.
was like, hey, it's time. But yeah, so Katie, who's at 2+3 Travelers on Instagram,
Mhm.
she's my neighbor. So it's a small world. And she's a huge Chapel Hill fan. So UNC,
Yes.
obviously. Yeah.
Yes, and she's been on the podcast a couple times, so I'll make sure to link to her previous appearances in the show notes
Yeah.
for this as well. All right, let's get into this trip. First of all, who is going with you?
So it is my immediate family. So my husband and our two girls, Eiley, who is 6, and Blake, who is 3. So they are coming with me, and we are flying direct, thank goodness, from RDU to LA, but it will be the 4 of us traveling together for the Disney portion of our trip.
What is your husband's name?
My husband's name is Madison, but he goes by Maddie.
Okay. And how do you spell Aili?
Aili, so it's Aili. It's actually a Finnish name from Finland. It's my middle name. It was my great grandma's name. So it's very unique and she gets it all kinds of things. Ali, Isla. But yeah, Aili. The poor girl will never find her name on a keychain at Disney World, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm a Virginia and I can feel that pain because there's
Yeah.
hardly ever a Virginia.
There's always Olivia, and she has like 3 Olivias in her class. It's so funny in her grade at school. But
Mhm.
yeah, it is funny. Both my kids have unique names, and Blake is Blake Lynn, but we call her Blake. And so yeah,
Mhm.
again, she will never find her name on a keychain.
Well, they're both beautiful names. So
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate that they have unique names and they will not be one of 10 Sophias or whatever.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So tell me a little bit about how this trip came to be.
So that's a great question. So it's my husband and I's 10-year wedding anniversary. We actually met in high school and it's our 17-year dating anniversary the same day. So we started dating 7 years before our wedding. And so we wanted to plan some kind of trip, and we do a trip with his family every other year, and this lands on the year that we usually would do a trip with them. And they said, "Well, we want to go to Monterey. Do you guys want to come still, even though we know you're trying to plan this trip?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, let's go to Monterey." And then it's a great excuse to go to Disneyland, and it's the
Hmm.
70th anniversary. So it was all great timing. And so we decided to add Disneyland to our trip.
That is the perfect excuse to go to Disneyland, in my opinion, because that's a long flight.
Yes.
And you're saving a little bit of money on having to go back out there, and to hit it during the 70th anniversary is very exciting. I will be there myself on the 23rd through the 27th. So you and I will
Oh,
actually
fun.
overlap at Disneyland.
Oh, great.
So I will be there for a work conference at the Anaheim Convention Center right across the street. So I will be there primarily in the evenings. So we will have to see if we can find a time on one of your days when we can at least pass each other on the
Yeah,
way to
we should.
something, so that I can
Because
give
we're
you a
actually
podcast
staying.
sticker and a hug.
Yes, us too. Yes, I'll have to bring you a podcast sticker. And we are actually staying at the Hilton Anaheim, like at the convention center
Oh,
right
that's so
there.
funny.
So is that where you're staying?
No, I am staying at the Marriott at the
Okay.
convention center, so, like, right across the way, but a lot of my colleagues are staying at the Hilton because they didn't book fast enough, so and, like, where I work, Marriott is, like, the preferred
Okay.
hotel, so that's why I booked that one first, just because it was gonna be preferred. Okay, exciting. So you're taking off on Saturday the 14th, which we're talking here on Monday, June the 9th, so a matter of days before you leave town. How
Yes.
how ready are you?
I am ready. So right in front of me are 3 of our 4 packed suitcases.
Mhm,
So I've already packed 3 of our bags. So since we are flying direct and we're flying on Delta, so we all can have a regular standard size carry-on. So we are doing this trip, which was a lofty goal, all with carry-ons only, no checked bags. So we will each have a carry-on because my youngest is now she's almost 3. So she'll be 3 July 1st, but we have to pay for her seat. So we're like, "All right, we're going to do this." We probably are gonna have to check a bag on the way back because I'm sure we'll be buying souvenirs and we're bringing an
uh-huh,
extra, tote carry-on bag for that. But we are going to do all carry-ons on the way there, and we'll each have a backpack, but they're
mhm.
pretty stuffed full, those bags. So, yes,
Wow.
but yes, I am yeah, we are pretty much packed except for the things you can't really pack till the last minute with kids, like use a sound machine, and we are gonna bring a baby monitor for the more for the beginning of our trip.
Okay.
But yeah, we are otherwise very packed.
It sounds like you will probably have access to a washer and a dryer for the first
Yes.
portion of your trip. Okay. So tell me, where are you staying for the first part of your trip before you head over to Disneyland?
Yes, so we, like I said, are flying to LA, but then we do have a drive up to Monterey. So we decided not to fly into San Francisco because renting a car in San Francisco and returning it in LA was like astronomical. So we
Mhm,
decided just to fly to LA, get our rental car, maybe explore the area a little bit that day to get the kids wiggles out, let them run around somewhere, and then
mhm,
drive, which is about 6 hours to Monterey, where we're staying in an Airbnb, which will have a washer and dryer with
mhm.
my in-laws for 5 days. So we'll be there Saturday through Thursday.
Okay. So the flight from RDU, which is Raleigh Durham International
Yes.
Airport, for those who are not in the know, um, is that about 6 hours or so to
It's
LAX?
about 5. Yep, so it
Oh,
says
okay.
5 hours, so not horrible, but it's nice that it's direct. This will be the longest flight my kids have done. We flew to Colorado 2 years ago, but they're used to very short, like, here to Orlando, here to Boston, here to Michigan flights, so
Hmm.
this will be the longest for sure, but yes, it is about a 5-hour flight.
Okay. Will they sleep on the plane? What time of day will it be approximately? That sort of thing.
It's gonna be early, so the flight takes off at 7 AM, and we're supposed to land at noon. So, hopefully, they will fall back asleep on the plane at some point. I'm really banking on them napping in the car once we drive to Monterey, and with the time difference, they might think it's, like, bedtime, so we're a little nervous about the time difference, and originally, when we planned this trip, we thought maybe we would do Disneyland first, but
Hmm.
then I'm glad we decided not to because I think it'll give them time to adjust to the
Oh,
time
yeah.
difference. By the time that we go to Disneyland, it'll be, 10, 11 days in to our trip, so they should be way better adjusted at the end of the trip,
Right.
hopefully.
Yeah. That sounds like solid reasoning to me. How do they do in long car rides? Because 6 hours is not a short car ride.
Yeah, they do good. So my oldest could literally sit on a plane if she had, a coloring book or even look out the window. She's not a huge iPad kid, but we do have like a no screen time rule on travel. Like we let them do whatever works for all of us to keep our sanity. But our youngest,
Mhm.
she usually does very well as well. She is in that phase where she's still napping, but she fights it a lot harder now. So we'll
Mhm.
see how that goes. That's the thing I'm worried about the most is, like, the nap schedule, but usually they do pretty well in the car, and we usually stop when we drive to Michigan, where my grandparents live, it's 14 hours, and we usually stay about 7 hours in Columbus and then drive the rest of the way. So we try to only stop once, so they do, like, 3.5 hours at a time without
Mhm.
getting up and stretching. So our hope
Mhm.
is to drive halfway, stop, get some dinner, and then keep going, but we'll just kinda play it by ear and see how they're doing. If we have to stop more often, then we will.
Okay. How many people are you expecting on this Airbnb portion of the trip in terms of the other family you'll be meeting?
So it is my mother-in-law, my stepfather-in-law, my sister-in-law, her husband, and their daughter. So 5 additional people, and then the 4 of us, so 9 total.
Okay. Is the daughter, similar age to your kids?
She is a little younger, so she is, about 1.5, so she turned 1 in January. So she's a little
Okay.
bit younger, but still fun age to kind of she's fascinated by our kids, the big kids, we call them,
Mhm.
and they just think she's like a little baby doll, so and all
Mhm.
girls, so that's fun too. They all get to just kind of, dress
Mhm.
up the baby and play with the baby and, they love
Yeah.
it, so it'll be good.
Okay. What are your plans for while you're in Monterey? Do you have any activities specifically you're gonna do while you're there?
Yeah, so we are doing a 17-mile e-bike tour, which will be fun that our kids can go on too. So Eiley, the older, will be on like a bike seat on the back of my bike, and then Blake will be in like a bike trailer. And so it goes along the coast there, not all the way down to Big Sur, but with pretty good views of Big Sur. So that is our big thing. And then also the Monterey Aquarium, which we did not go to the last time we were in Monterey, and that has incredible reviews. It's supposed to be very similar to what they depict in Finding Dory, actually.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
thought that was kind of fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we are looking forward to those two things. And the rest of the days, we really just plan to take a little road trip down to Big Sur, which there's things about an hour south, and then just spend time with family, relax, play games. They all live in Florida, so we don't get to see them super often, a couple times a year, but it's nice to have some time all together.
Yeah, for sure. All right, where are you heading on Thursday after you check out of the Airbnb?
We are heading over to Lake Tahoe, which is a new destination for us. We've never been there. So we're staying in South Lake Tahoe, and this will just be our immediate family. So my husband and I, for our anniversary, since we've been to Monterey and we've been to Disneyland, we decided to each pick a place that we've not been that's in the general area to visit. So he picked Tahoe, and then I
Mhm.
picked Yosemite, which is the destination after that.
Oh, wow. That was a good idea. I mean, have your family time, then you each get something new, and then you get to do Disneyland with your little ones. Okay. So,
Yeah.
where are you staying in Lake Tahoe?
We are staying at a Hilton Grand Vacation Club. So my mom is actually a Hilton Grand Vacation member, but we just paid for it. It was actually very reasonable. They have a lot of those Grand Vacation type clubs, vacation club places, timeshare places in Tahoe. And so we decided to do that so that we could still have a separate bedroom from the living space, have a full fridge, have a washer dryer, that kind of thing, so that we could get food and kind of save on a little bit of cost there to have things at the hotel for breakfast. We're not huge breakfast people, so it's nice to have a space to keep stuff like that. So that's where we're staying in Tahoe.
How many nights are you there?
We are there 3 nights. So we'll be there until Sunday we check out.
Okay, Sunday the 22nd, which
Yes.
was my due date for my son who decided to be a week late. It's
Oh
okay.
no. That's funny.
He will be 15 at the end of this month, so I've
Oh
forgiven him at this
wow.
point.
Yeah.
But towards the end, you know how it gets.
Yes. Oh yes.
Oh my goodness. All right. So what are you doing in Lake Tahoe? Just enjoying the lake, or do you have special activities?
Yeah, we are just enjoying the lake, but we do have one activity planned there, which is they have this big paddle wheel boat that's like a 2-hour tour kind of going around the lake. And it's this old, huge paddle wheeler ship almost. When I said paddle wheel boat, my husband's like, are we paddle wheeling on this lake for like ourselves for 2 hours? And I was like, no, no, no. No, we are riding leisurely on this boat. So that's what we're doing. A lot of the boat and water activities our youngest was too small for, which is okay. So we're going to do that and then just kind of explore the area. There's a couple of like not terrible hikes in that area as well. And then just, yeah, enjoy the views and our resort and things like that.
I bet that resort is going to be beautiful. I'm gonna
Yes,
have
I'm so
to look it
excited.
up. All right. So then you said you're going to Yosemite next?
Yes, we're going to Yosemite next, which is another new destination. And there we're staying at the Rush Creek Lodge, which was a little bit of a splurge for us. It's outside of Yosemite in Groveland. So we're not huge campers, like tent campers. We are more glampers, even my husband. So we prefer to have like a hot shower and air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to stay at Rush Creek, which has a pool. They do s'mores every night, has much more like a wilderness lodge type of feel to me.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna go into Yosemite actually just for one day. We got tickets on the Yarts bus, which is their public transportation bus that then you don't have to stress about getting like timed entry and
Mm-hmm.
reservation for your car, which I've heard is very intense. So since we're not doing any huge hikes, we're gonna go into Yosemite one of the days and then do the valley floor tour, which is basically for all the old people and people with little kids who don't want to hike. And so it's being pulled by a tractor. You sit and they pull you through to some of the hotspot views that are on the flatter area in the valley. So we're really looking forward to that as well.
That sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I want to go
Yeah.
on this vacation with you. Maybe I should
Come with
head
us.
out to California early.
Yeah. We'll
Oh,
drop you
that
off for
sounds
your conference. It'll be
amazing.
perfect.
Oh, yeah, perfect. All right. So then that brings us to Wednesday, June 25th, which I think is the day that you head down to Anaheim.
Yes, that is when we head to Anaheim. So this is another long car travel day where we're gonna get up, check out. Our kids usually wake up early, like by 7. So we're gonna let them sleep whenever they want to sleep till, get up, get the stuff in the car, and then head down to Disneyland, which is about a 7-hour drive. So another long drive. And then our hope is that night to check into our hotel, which is the Hilton Anaheim and right near the convention center, and then go to
Hmm.
downtown Disney that night, get some food, hopefully look at the 70th merch and be able to enjoy downtown Disney a little bit because my husband and I have only been to Disneyland once. I actually went to Anaheim in ninth grade with a church trip and stayed at this same Hilton Anaheim. And we went to a conference at the conference center. And I got to see the gates of Disneyland. We went to downtown Disney, but we had no money to go inside Disneyland. And I was so sad as a Disney
Oh,
kid who grew up on Disney. So my husband and I went in 2018, but that's the only time we've actually been inside the parks. So we're looking forward to going back to downtown Disney, seeing what's changed in the last 7 years, and then kind of getting a feel for the area again before we go to the parks the next day.
do you have a dining reservation for that night, or you're just gonna pick from what you see?
We don't. We're just gonna pick from what we see, especially with the long car ride and not knowing exactly how long we're gonna stop and how many times we're gonna have to stop. We wanted to be very flexible that night. So there's a lot of different quick service options. There's been a couple of places that I have scoped out, but for the most part, we plan to either do just quick service or if there's something sit down that doesn't have a long line that looks good, we might do that. But planning for a quicker, easier night that night.
Okay. Sounds like a good arrival night. All right, so
Yes.
you have two park day tickets, I should say, for Thursday the 26th and Friday the 27th. Did you
Yes.
get park hopper?
We did not, and that is mostly because we knew that there was enough stuff in each park for us to take the entire day there, so we decided not to do Hopper and save on that expense.
Okay. Did you opt to get multipass?
Yes, we did. So we
Okay.
do have multipass for both days, and we did also decide that that morning, which because they do it there a little bit differently, we are going to get the single pass at Disney California Adventure for the Lightning McQueen Cars ride with the Radiator Springs Racers. So we
So
already know we're going to do that.
is that your first park day at DCA?
Yes. Yep. So our first park day, which we're doing in reverse. The last time we went, we did Disneyland first and DCA second. But this time, because of park hours and the days of the week, we're going to do DCA first on Thursday. And so that on Friday, when we go to Disneyland, Phantasmic will be showing. So we wanted to make sure,
Mhm.
guarantee that Phantasmic would be on. And they don't do Phantasmic and the fireworks and paint the night every single night. So that
Mhm.
was our best shot. So that's our first day will be at Disney California Adventure.
Okay. What are your other priorities at DCA?
So our priorities are trying to do everything we have not done there. So the last time we were there, Avengers Campus was not built. It actually still was the Bugs Life area, which is
Oh,
funny
yeah.
now to think about. But yes, so we plan to do web slingers. That is definitely a priority for us, which a lot of people have told us we're going to be disappointed by it because Toy Story Mania is similar and it's really one of our favorite rides. But
Mhm.
my kids and my husband are very into Spider-Man. So we're excited to do web slingers and our another big priority is to watch the little Spider-Man show that they do outside of that area and meet Spider-Man. Those are like very top things for them. Another priority is to ride the Monsters Inc. Dark ride because now we have just learned that that will be going away to make room for Pandora or whatever they're going to call it over there for Avatar. And
Mhm.
so as soon as we heard that, I was like, okay, we at least have to do that once, if not more than that. So
Mhm.
that's definitely a high priority. And then another priority is to do the Incredicoaster because the last time we were there, the Incredicoaster was being rethemed to be the Incredicoaster. It was California Screamin' at the time, and so the whole
Ah.
Pixar pier was just Toy Story Mania. That was the only thing that was open when we went. So that will
Mhm.
all be new to us. So we haven't seen the Emotional Whirlwind, we haven't seen the Incredicoaster, and the Ferris wheel. Also, the Pixar Pal Around was not open at the time we were there.
Mhm.
So all of that to kind of see the new stuff. Obviously, San Francisco, or is that how you is it San
Mhm.
Francisco?
Yep.
But yeah,
Mhm.
so that was not open either. But that isn't as big of a priority because there's not really rides. We like the Big Hero 6, but we're not huge Baymax people where we have to meet him. But if it's a short wait, we'll do that. But those are kind of our biggest priorities because we haven't done those things before.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think about Incredicoaster because I love it. I find that sometimes with like a traditional style coaster, it's harder to get really good theming done,
Yeah.
and they really do it there. So,
That's what I've heard. My brother Regan went shortly after us in 2018, and I believe it was open then. And then he went back a few years ago and got to do Web Slingers and Incredicoaster. And he's like, "You're gonna love it." He said the same thing. The theming is so good, the music is perfect. So I'm really looking forward
mhm.
to that.
Do you want a tip for what's leb slingers that I've heard? I have not ridden it myself yet. I will be doing it for the first time, but I got a hot tip on how to score well.
Oh yes, I would love the tips.
Okay, this is what I've heard. So you know how you have to make your hand into like the web action and point at
Yeah.
things? you don't actually have to do that motion. If you just do like finger guns at the things you want, it will still
Ah,
do it. So it takes less effort. So you don't
yeah.
get tired as
Okay.
fast.
That's good to know because that's one thing about Toy Story Mania that it's like there's really no hack. You just have to pull and aim
Oh
like
my God.
fast. So it's like a very big workout for your arms. But
Yeah, you're
yeah,
like,
okay,
I've got
good
a
point.
cramp suddenly.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, okay, good to know about the fingers. That's good.
Yeah, which might be easier for the kids too if they want to
Yes.
try for a higher score. All right. Anything else in DCA you're looking forward to? Any snacks? Any dining reservations? Anything like that?
So we did not do any dining reservations there. And it's funny, I actually cannot recall where we ate there last time at all, but I do remember there being obviously a lot of options. And there
Mm-hmm.
are some different things over there, like in Carsley and the Cozy Cones and different things like that that people say are good to try.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, no, there's not anything super high priority as far as eating in this park.
Okay. Yeah. I hear good things about some of the stuff in the San Francisco area. It's been a number of years since I've been too. So
Okay.
I've really kind of had to like step up my I'm gonna call it research, but I've been very lackadaisical about it considering it's me. And normally I go crazy about these things, but I've made like a general list of the things that I want to try. And the other thing that I hear is excellent in Disneyland and DCA compared to Orlando are the cold brews. Lots of special cold brews.
Okay.
So if you're a coffee fan, I actually have a note in my phone that I have labeled cold brew journey for
Oh,
my
that's
trip.
funny. Okay.
I
Cool.
don't know
Very
how much I'll be
fun.
able to drink, but whatever. I'll try as many as I can.
Opportunities to try. Yes.
Exactly. Friday, June 27th, you're heading over into Disneyland proper with Multipass Lightning Lane. Are you doing any single passes for that park?
We are not because I believe the only single pass is for Rise of the Resistance. And
Yeah.
because we have Rise of the Resistance here on the West Coast, we actually are not planning to go into Galaxy's Edge at all because
Okay.
that's something that the two rides both have height requirements that are too tall for my youngest. And my oldest has
Hmm.
done both. And so is my husband on the West Coast. So that is not a priority for us. So we are not going to be doing single pass there. But yes, we do have the multi pass purchased.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many rides in Disneyland Park that there will be plenty of other things to keep you busy for the whole day. So, what are you looking forward to the most? I'm guessing it's all of the things you can't do in Orlando, but what specifically
Yes.
is really getting you excited?
Definitely looking forward to all the things we can't do in Orlando. I actually love their Space Mountain more, and I think
Me too.
my oldest will too because of the side by side. I think it's just really well done. And even though we have Pirates and Haunted Mansion in the West Coast, theirs are just so much better. Pirates was actually under refurbishment last time we went, and so we didn't get to go, and it was tragic. So, very much looking forward to going on Pirates.
Hmm.
And then also looking forward to things in Fantasyland that we don't have. So Mr. Toad, Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, and there It's a Small World because that also was under refurbishment. So we did not get to experience it. And it just looks so beautiful.
Hmm.
So hoping to get on that too. But those are kind of the biggest priorities. Indiana Jones is also a priority, but I was disappointed to learn that the height requirement is actually 6 inches higher than Dinosaur, even though it's very similar. It's basically the same ride vehicle. So it's 46 inches for Indiana Jones, but only 40 inches for Dinosaur. So our oldest will not be able to go on that. So that threw me off a little bit. We'll have to do rider swap there. But that was a little bit of a bummer because I kind of talked it up to her and then now she can't go. But
Oh.
yeah, she'll be just under. She's like 45 inches. So I don't think that she'll be quite tall enough. But yeah, that's kind of as far as attractions. And then we're really looking forward to Paint the Night. I'm glad that that has come back because we missed the nighttime parades over at Disney World. And the new
Hmm.
Disney World nighttime parade is coming soon, but it's been so long since we've had, Main Street Electrical Parade or Spectro Magic. So Paint the Night, I've heard, is amazing. And we also love their
Hmm.
Phantasmic. So this is where my like type A planning and stress came about a little bit because I'm like, well, how do you see Phantasmic, the fireworks, and Paint the Night? Is that impossible? And so I talked to some people that have done it, and they basically said the best thing to do is see the first Phantasmic show at 9:30, which is also very late. then stay in that spot, watch the fireworks go off from there because they still do projections kind of on the Phantasmic area, and then go get a
Mm-hmm.
seat for Paint the Night somewhere as close as you can to wherever you're at for Phantasmic. So that is our
Mm-hmm.
plan, but we did do a dining reservation for dinner for Phantasmic for just a standard reservation with the River Bell restaurant.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good plan to me because in my experience, the times that I have been to Disneyland, compared to Disney World, the fireworks, because we're used to the amazing castle projections, can fall a little bit
Yeah.
flat, at least for me. No offense to anybody who really loves the fireworks, but like the Phantasmic show there is amazing. And so prioritizing that and then paint the night and then just see what you can of the fireworks from wherever you are makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that's our goal. So we did get the River Bell Terrace standard dining package to kind of help make sure that we don't have to get to Phantasmic too early for seats because we'll have that roped off area. And both of my kids
Mhm.
have seen Phantasmic a couple of times. So we are excited to see it. They haven't seen that version. Obviously, it's a little bit different, but I'm not so stressed about getting a perfect seat and letting them see everything for Phantasmic. We really are, wanting to enjoy it, but then focus on getting to a good spot for Paint the Night too. So we'll see. But yeah,
Mhm.
and I don't even know if they'll be awake for all of this. That's the other kicker is Phantasmic's at 9, fireworks are 9:30, and Paint the Night's at 10:45 p.m. So
Mm,
my other thought was for Phantasmic, they can't stay in their stroller. They have to be on the ground. But for Paint the Night, if they fall
mhm.
asleep and they're in the stroller, then they fall asleep and they're in the stroller and we can still watch the show. So that's kind of what our
Right.
thoughts are there, but we'll see if that works out or how that goes.
Well, if I don't see you before, I may see you at Paint the Night because I need to see it while I'm there, and Friday night will probably be the night that makes sense for me to do that before I leave the next day. So maybe I will catch you there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, I have done that Phantasmic dining package before, and I think you get, if it's the same one as when I did it, now this is pre-pandemic, we got like a little seat cushion to sit on.
Oh, that's good to know because I
Yeah.
actually packed a picnic blanket thing like that is waterproof to sit on just in case, but that'd be great if they do that.
Is this the restaurant that's inside Pirates that you're talking about?
No, so they don't do that one
Oh.
anymore.
So that's
Yeah.
the one I had done, and it came with a super cute, like the ones that you get for like game day that are made out of
Yeah.
foam and they've got like a built-in handle. It's that, and it's got like a phantasmic print to it. And everybody got one of those, and that was to sit
Oh,
on the ground.
cute.
So,
Yeah, no, that restaurant does not do the dining package right now. It was this one and then I think there were 2 other options, but this one you could have paid a little more for a premium and had
mhm.
a seat at the restaurant on their terrace to watch the show,
Mm,
but I didn't want to pay the extra money for that. So
yeah.
we decided just to keep it as is for with the
Mhm.
standard package.
Yeah. Especially if you've seen the one in Orlando. I'm trying
Yes,
to
many,
think
many
like
times.
what are the differences? I can't even remember. I feel like they're very similar.
They're very
Um,
similar. I know the
so
pirate ship is probably the biggest difference that they have the pirate
yeah,
ship
yeah,
part, but otherwise, for the most part, they're very, very similar.
right, yeah. So Saturday, June 28th is your departure day. What time is your flight out of LAX?
So our flight out of LAX that morning is at noon, so we do have a little bit of time to sleep in. I had thought about doing a character breakfast dining reservation at one of the resorts right there, but I think we're going to be so worn out and I didn't want to push it budget-wise or energy level-wise, so we're going to just let the kids sleep, check out, and then head over to the airport for our flight.
Considering the fact that you have to get all the way from the convention center area over to LAX and get checked in and everything,
Yeah.
you never know how long that drive is gonna be. I mean, it's not a work day, so maybe it will be a little bit better, but it can take a while. That should be all we need here. Anything else you wanna share before we say goodbye?
I think the only other thing are just a couple of the snack items at Disneyland for the
Mhm.
70th that we're looking forward to. So I have
Okay.
quite a few things marked. We'll see how much we're really able to do. But the first thing that I saw that I was like, "Oh, this is so cute. I definitely wanna try it," is the little alien 70th celebration macaroon. And so it's a
Oh,
macaroon with
yeah.
birthday cake buttercream and a confetti cake center, finished with this little chocolate birthday hat. It's so cute. So that is over at Alien Pizza Planet, so that is definitely one we wanna try. And then Cafe Daisy has a drink called the Miss Daisy, which is Minute Maid light lemonade with blue cotton candy syrup and blue raspberry gummy rings. And it's not alcoholic. They do have different alcoholic options, but that is one that I have on my list to try. Everybody says a Disneyland churro is like the best sweet snack, and we had not had one last time. So the churro is on
Mhm.
my list, as well as a 70th celebration churro. So trying to try some of the, different 70th celebration things. And there is a really cute Mickey hat cookie, which looks just like, a traditional sugar cookie dipped with in chocolate, and then they've decorated it to look like a little Mouseketeer hat. So those are the biggest things that I want to try. We have like actually quite a long list of all the different places that they're serving these things and screenshots of pictures of food. But we did a little snack run at Magic Kingdom on our last trip where we got to try a bite of a snack. So we hope that that's what we're going to do this time too, is each get to try a little bite of something and then kind of rank what we liked the best. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the snacks at Disneyland.
I'm just cutting in here to let you know that after we finished talking about snacks, we had a conversation about macaroons versus mackerel and the difference between them and how Disney has spelled the alien cookie that they have for the 70th as macaroon. If you remember my episode with Rebecca, you will know how I feel about macron being mislabeled. Anyway, back to the show. You and I discussed it, and everyone knows about my macaroon macaron craziness. And we decided it's okay for this to be called a macaroon because in the thing it says macaroon. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but but I just wanted on the record that it's a
That's how
macaron.
you say it. Okay.
Yes. Yes. No, I had this whole episode of this person who went to Disneyland Paris, and I
That's
was just
so
like,
funny.
this everybody has like their little pet peeves, and that's one for me because like it's just it's a different pastry. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
not the same thing.
Right.
That's so funny.
But I felt like when you said macaroon, I was like, I feel like I've seen like a green thing of coconut. And so I was
Yeah.
questioning reality. And I don't think I've actually seen that because I think I made that up in my head. It's a really cute cookie though.
Yeah, it looks so cute. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully it's good.
I saw that they have or at least at one point in time they had a Buzz Lightyear version of it too, where the alien is clearly dressed as Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, cute. That would be super cute too. We're huge Toy Story people. So I was like,
Oh
anything
yeah.
Toy Story that's super adorable like that, we are going to
Yeah.
purchase.
I love Toy Story. When Alex was very little, like I said, he's about to be 15, and he had all of the main toys from the Toy Story
Yes.
movies.
Cute. Yeah, our youngest, her nursery is Toy Story. So we're very big Toy Story people. But yeah, so fun.
I don't think I've gotten rid of all of those characters because I was like, these are so important to us. But I think when he graduates, I need to get a photo of him in his cap and gown, kind of walking away with the characters.
Yes.
Ugh, there's
That would
nothing
be
can
so
that can make me
cute.
cry like the beginning of the movie Up and Toy Story 3 when Andy goes away to
Oh,
college.
yeah. Just
Ugh.
the music in like, now when we just hear the music of Toy Story 3, the ending when he's leaving Bonnie with the
Ugh,
toys, Regan's like, turn it off," like, my brother can he's like, "I'm gonna start crying," like, just from the music, like, he can't stand it.
I
But, yeah, it's
know.
it's
Oh,
so it's so sweet. That was the perfect ending to that series. I'm kind of bummed that they've kind of kept going with it, but yeah, we love those movies.
yeah. Yeah, I was like, "Why are they doing 4?" Like,
I
did we really need
know.
4? No, we did
We did
not
not need
because
4. No.
3 was perfection. Just stop.
Yes, it was, and we love 2. 2 is my favorite, so, yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
uh-huh. I'm yeah, hot take, 2 is my favorite. So, my
Mhm.
husband is 1, I love 2, and our kids really love 3, so it's funny, like, how it's
Mhm.
changed, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, then I think we have everything we need. And I hope that you have a magical trip. And it
Thank
sounds like
you,
we
looking forward
probably at
to
some
it.
point will run into each other.
Yes, excited for that. Definitely would love to. That'd be great.
Have a great time, and I will talk to you when you get back. Thank you so much, Olivia, for joining me on the show today. Olivia's post trip report episode is up next, so don't go anywhere. And as a reminder, if you are looking for a travel planner who specializes in Disney destinations, I have linked Katie's information in the show notes. Not only is Katie Olivia's travel agent, but she's also a friend of the podcast. I have included a link to all of Katie's previous episodes for you to check out because they are some good ones. If you liked what you heard today, please rate or review the show on the podcast app you are listening on now. And please don't forget to check out the podcast website, which is whereilongtobepodcast.com. That is all for now. Until next time, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.